for proper planning, monitoring, and evaluation through
African Union, in collaboration with IOM, on the draft agenda of expert group meeting on data and trafficking in person for the ECOWAS region. Speaking at the event was the Nigeria ECOWAS Commission, Mr. Eke Ozondo Joseph. In his statement, urged for training develop capacity for data handling for both state and non-state actors in region and also to develop manual for data collections.
More than narrowly defined area of human trafficking, but acknowledge and respond to complex problems. This we have done through the implementation of the TIP plus approach. Finally, I would like to urge for and restate the support training to develop capacity for data handling for both the state and non-state actors in the region. 2. Development of manual for data collection and referral for member states. 3. Development of systems for data collection that are simplified but comprehensive, bearing in mind the challenge of both human and material resources in the member states. These important actions require concerted action and funding to actualize the objectives of this meeting. And I'm confident that the outcomes of this 3 days meeting will strengthen even more our collective efforts to data management on trafficking in persons.
Also speaking at the event was the Chief Director for Ministry of Gender, Children and Social Protection, Dr. Afrisah Zakariah, said that it is very important that ECOWAS found a lasting solution to cut demeanor through collective data collection to combat human trafficking in ECOWAS region.
We all here are familiar with the issues around human trafficking and its related challenges. No single country or state is immune to human trafficking and smuggling of migrants. It is either you are a source, survival and development of the sexes, children, the vulnerable, and persons living with disability are guaranteed. The Human Trafficking Secretariat with its related agencies, Attorney General's Department, government agencies, development partners, and non-governmental agencies work hand in hand to combat human trafficking in Ghana, which will play a coordinating role. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the global reports available on issues of human trafficking show that women and children are the worst affected. Observe sometimes that both economic and forced migrants use irregular and dangerous routes, trying to get to their destinations, making the movement mixed and difficult. Available data on such people are sometimes the hardest to get, since they often cross borders irregularly, undocumented, and work in dangerous places. It is very important, therefore, that as we think about data and ECOWAS programs on combating human trafficking, we find lasting solutions to cap the menace. Ghana as a country has some data collection tools developed by the Ministry of Gender, Children and Social Protection for data gathering and reporting. This has helped in compiling most reports that form part of our obligations. To improve on it and make it nationwide, the Trafficking in Persons Information System was developed by the ministry through the support of IOM under the Child Protection Combat Agreement Partnership. The data collection tools we piloted in 5 regions, and we are hoping that to be scaled to all regions that are implementing the pact. We all know the importance of data in data protection. It is also important we strengthen our collaboration in terms of information sharing, intelligence gathering, and resource mobilization to be ahead of the traffickers and smugglers. I entreat all to participate fully in the expert meeting to share ideas and experiences to ensure we have a comprehensive plan, ideas, sharpened skills, and competencies to track information and share the right information at the appropriate time and place.
According to Dr. Afisah Zakariah, in an interview with Nation One TV, said that they are planning to scale up their efforts as a ministry and also meet with ECOWAS actors to deliberate on the loopholes on data collection in ECOWAS region's human trafficking.
We alone cannot, we can point it out. We are the people implementing, so the others will make inputs, and then if they find it to be something robust enough, I believe everybody will come up. We are tier 2. Tier 2, that's the ranking, US ranking of countries. And we are doing very well. As a country, we are actually doing very well. And we are not doing it alone. We are doing this in partnership with other ministries, the law enforcement agencies. Yeah, so we work closely with them, and they support us a lot. At this workshop, we would like to get their experiences, where they are doing very well, where they have challenges, and we also share with them areas where we are doing very well and where we have challenges. In Ghana, it's very clear that some go through unapproved routes, and so it's very difficult to get such people. Even though our borders, we have the law enforcement agencies who are working closely, some are still able to snake and then leave the shores of Ghana without proper documentations. Those are the challenges we face. But in terms of collaboration, it's very strong. Even during the meeting, if you stay in, you will see that those representing Ghana are not from our ministry. Even though we are coordinating it, but because of the strong partnership, anywhere you meet any of them, our partners, they can talk to the issues and what we are doing. And when you ask us, we can equally talk to the issues, what they are doing. So the collaboration with us is very strong. But we share with our member countries, because a ministry alone will not be able to do it. One institution will not be able to do it. Even one country cannot do it unless we come together, come out with policies and actions that we will implement in a coordinated manner. This is what.
Also speaking at the event was the Nigeria ECOWAS Commission. Mr. Anyakura Augustine said developing an aggregate strategies model and tackling the challenges faced by ECOWAS region will go a long way to help ECOWAS region human trafficking data.
That's why we are here, all the ECOWAS countries, all the countries within the ECOWAS sub-region. And the idea is to develop a common strategy, or what you call an articulate strategy, towards tackling trafficking within the West African sub-region and globally. In Nigeria, the plan is already there, in terms of treaty agreements and the law, we've been able to have that on ground. That has culminated to the aspect that we have the agency, an agency in charge of combating trafficking, and we call it NAPTIP. So it's basically, we already have the laws and the agencies on ground towards tackling human trafficking. So I think our experience, we've gone far. So our experience is more of to possibly drop it on the ground with respect to sharing with other countries and possibly learn from them, and they will learn from our own experiences too. Depending on the peculiarities, the issue of handling it differs from countries. And again, in terms of data collection, because we are data compiler, we are statisticians mostly. So you look at issues of how do you gather this data? Where are these data domiciled? Because this data, with respect to from country to country differs, in terms of collecting it and in terms of dissemination. So we need to equally understand the experiences of countries in terms of data collection and data dissemination.
According to Nigeria ECOWAS Commission, Mr. Eke Osondu Joseph, in his interview with Nation One TV, stated that engagement with the actors in ECOWAS region will help in empowering the member states and their part to find the lasting solution to fight against human trafficking in ECOWAS region.
So this kind of event is very, very useful because it is going to actually empower the member states experts. Because ECOWAS on our own, we don't go to the field, but it is the member states that actually do the field work. So it is good for them to harmonize the kind of data that they have for the trafficking in persons so that we will be able to actually encourage the member states and the regional body in formulating policies in fighting the crime in the region. In this kind of issue, you have to still improve. And again, when you are improving, you have to take into recognitions the resources in the member states. Because why we are here also is that it's not every tool that is pushed to the member state that we try to accept. Because you have to think of, do you have the human resources in the member states to actually carry out this kind of investigation and the kind of data collection? So you think of one, do you have the resources in the member states? Because after the training, and maybe the judge push the kind of tools they want to implement, you have the resources in the member states, both human and material, to implement such. So it is good that ECOWAS as the coordinating body is here. Then we compare the template that we have been using, which has been very, very extensive and very resourceful, then with whatever they are going to add to them. The template is shared to all the member states. At the end of the year, we have what is called the annual review mechanism, where all the member states submit their reports. Then we have a meeting where everything is reviewed. We have a common template that we normally use in reporting trafficking in persons. For such meetings, what is funding, because data collection is very, very expensive. Funding, and the human resources. Because some of them, you go to a secretariat and you have like only 2-3 people working in the TIP unit. So they need manpower capacity and funding for them to actually do what they are doing. And again, training, because some of the databases, people still need to be trained to be able to manage them. One, from partners, again, from the national government. Let the national government take it as a priority by when we are doing the national budget to include the fight of trafficking. Let it be one of the prime areas that they will look at in formulating their budgets. And if it is well funded in the secretaries and there are some countries that have an agency against trafficking, and there are some people that still don't have a full-blown agency for trafficking, so that they will be able to, because if you don't capture it in the budget, you can't implement it. Because when the budget is released, it's whatever that is captured that can be implemented. So governments actually make sure that the issue of trafficking in persons is a priority in their national budgets, and if they fund it, so that these agencies will be able to do their work.
Finally,
before this time, when we go from the Human Security and Civil Society Division, before this time, when we go in silos. Okay, this is child protection, this is human trafficking, this is gender-based violence. But now, as a division in ECOWAS, we adopted what is called TIP Plus. TIP Plus entails that even those things that tend to increase the vulnerability of citizens to be trafficked, we are tackling it. Child protection. And since last year, we have been involved in what is called integrated approach to member states, where we bring the member states, all the state actors and the non-state actors together and work for women security. We bring them together to interact. Because that is what is called the TIP Plus, so that even those people that are victims of gender-based violence, people that are victims of child trafficking, child protection, all of them are coming together, international humanitarian law. Because when you bring them together, they interact. There will be a harmonization of how they actually improve the human security in their places. And that is what we call the TIP approach, and that is what I'm going to take